गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी यमुनातीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीर वनचारी यमुनातीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारि यमुनातीरवनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Jai Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Radhe Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radhe Jai Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar, Gaurangi Bangaloreshwar, Gaurangi Jai Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudashana Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Dev Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Ananta Dev Jai Nitai Chaitanya Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Nitai Chaitanya Jaya Nitai Chaitanya जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाराचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत अभय चरणारविंद श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय इस्कॉन संस्थापक आचार्य बीवीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवियर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड जगत गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवाराचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर जी की जय प्रेम से कहिए जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी वृंदा देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय श्री मायापुर धाम की जय श्री क्षेत्र पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय साकेत अयोध्या धाम की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all of you on the in the Shrimad Bhagavatam class, which is organized by ISKCON Seshadripuram daily. Basis, and today we are going to read the verse number 9th of chapter 12, and this is canto number 4. And the chapter's title is Dhruva goes to goes back to Godhead. Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Navram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayarmudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktirabhavati Nashtuki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So I'm going to take this on the screen, the verse number. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so it should be तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तस् तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तां दत्तेव विडस्ततः पश्यतोऽन्तर्दधे सोऽपि स्वपुरं प्रत्यपद्यतः पद्यत तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तां दत्तेड् विडस्ततः पश्यतोऽन्तर्दधे सोऽपि स्वपुरं प्रत्यपद्यत तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा तां दत्तेव दविडस्ततः पश्यतो अंतर्दधे सोऽपि स्वपुरं प्रत्यपद्धत. Synonyms, translation and purport by Krishna Kripamurti, Abhay Charnarvind, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms. Tasya, with Dhruva, Pritena, being very pleased, Manasa, with such a mentality, Tam, that remembrance, Dattva, having given, Eda Vidaha, Kuver, son of Idvida, Tataha, thereafter, Pashyata, while Dhruva was looking on, Antardade, disappeared, Saha, he, Dhruva, Api, also, Swapuram, to his city, Pratyapadyata, return. Translation. The son of Idvida, Lord Kuver, was very pleased, and happily he gave Dhruv Maharaj the benediction he wanted. Thereafter he disappeared from Dhruva's presence, and Dhruv Maharaj returned to his capital city, Purport. Kuvera, who is known as son of Idvida, was very pleased with Dhruv Maharaj because he did not ask him for anything materially enjoyable. Kuvera is one of the demigods, so one may put forward the argument, why did Dhruv Maharaj take a benediction from a demigod? The answer is that for a Vaishnava, there is no objection to taking a benediction from a demigod if it is favorable for advancing Krishna consciousness. The gopis, for example, worshipped Katyayani, a demigoddess. Krishna as their husband. A Vaishnava is not interested in taking any benediction from the demigods, nor is he interested in asking benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said in Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by the Supreme Person. But even if a pure devotee is offered liberation by the Supreme Lord, he refuses to accept it. Dhruva Maharaj did not ask Kuver for transference to the spiritual world, whichever in the spiritual or material. He would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. So when Kuver offered him a benediction, he did not refuse it, but he wanted something which would be favorable to his advancement in Krishna consciousness. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजन सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्य हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। Hare Krishna. So, welcome once again to the morning class of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Shrimad Bhagavatam is a very, very important scripture for all of us because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that it is a spotless Puran. And Vyasadeva also, Srila Vyasadeva also compiled it. And at the mature age and in the taking the inspiration of his guru, spiritual master, Sri Narad ji. When Vyasadeva was not satisfied after having compiled so many Vedas, Upanishads, and Puranas, then he expressed himself, and then Narad ji told that you have not glorified the Lord so much so that you are not satisfied. Your other scriptures have more towards they are more inclined towards um, engaging people in the karma kand or the jnana kand, etc. But the pure devotional services you have not glorified and the Lord's pastimes. So because of that, you are not satisfied. So after that, Vyasadeva compiled the scripture. So this is the ripened fruit, matured fruit of this thing. And Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukumukhad Amritadravya Sanyutam Vibhad Bhavagavatam Rasmalayam Muraho Rasika Bhu Bhavika. So We should always, Prabhupada wanted this practice to continue in all the ISKCON temples, centers, that Shrimad Bhagavatam is heard, because this is Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu. This cleanses up all our anarthas, and because it purifies us and prepares us towards the mood what the pure devotees have. So this is the objective, and in this Kali Yuga, Shravanam Kirtanam are the two basic. Our devotional service starts from Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So today's verse, तस्य प्रीतेन मनसा त्वां दत्वेड विडस्ततः पश्यतो अंतर्तदे सोपि स्वपुरं प्रत्यपद्यत. Translation. The Dhruv Maharaj the benediction he wanted. Thereafter he disappeared from Dhruva's presence, and Dhruv Maharaj returned to his capital city. So we yesterday Shlok was discussed that what Dhruv Maharaj wanted from Kuvera. Because when Kuvera asked him through the benediction, initially Kuvera says he wanted to uh, he wanted to give the reasons why you have not done this, you have not killed the yakshas, because you are sinless, Anag. Okay, so he was trying to console, because Dhruv Maharaj was not very happy after realizing the reasons given by Manu, his grandfather, Swayambhu Manu. Then he was not very happy, and then Kuvera appears. Then Kuvera says that these are all I and mine, is caused by time, and these are the bodily conceptions. So you should please worship the Lord. And thereafter he asked for the benediction. So in the benediction, Guru Maharaj asks for remembrance, unflinching faith in the Lord, and remembrance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we can see even Kuvera, who is the Lord of the wealth, the not the Lord of the wealth, the demigod of the wealth. So he could have given anything material. The all the demigods can give the things which are material in nature, not the spiritual. Because spiritual they can give, but people normally don't ask, don't request them. People go to demigods for their fulfilling their material desires. Whereas the pure devotees, they also can approach the demigods, but for their advancement in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada gives one example in this verse, that the gopis who were at a very advanced stage of their devotional services, they are the highest, they are at the highest platform in any of the devotional. So Braj gopis also were doing Katyayani Vrat, but their purpose was to attain Krishna as their husband. Not that they wanted something which is material in nature and which is temporary in nature. So gopis also approached the demigods, but the purpose is totally different. Whereas Dhruv Maharaj also, having realized after getting the touch of Narayan, Krishna, he got purified in his desires. His desires were changed into spiritual. Immediately, when Narayan, Krishna touched his conch shell on the head of the Dhrum, then his mind changed, everything changed. He became spiritual. He realized that with what ambition, what objective I went for to the forest, that I will have even a bigger kingdom than my father, and even bigger kingdom than my grandfather, which is Brahma's. So he wanted that, and at the age of 5, he went to the forest to do the austerities and uh, and please the Lord, when his mother inspired him, and then Narad Muni also told him the way how to perform the worship of the Lord. Then he went to the forest, Nidhivan, no, not Nidhivan, the uh, Dhrutila in the Vrindavan, and there the Lord appeared. So when his material desires totally turned into spiritual, then he realizes that what uh, I was aiming for, what I was really wanting for, I had the darshan of the Lord, Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and despite that, I was aiming for a piece of broken pieces of glasses, whereas I was having entitled to the diamond, the purest of the diamond, the highest carats of diamond. So after that, he would always be desiring to have the constant remembrance of the Lord. And he wanted the association of the devotees so that he doesn't forget Krishna at any point of time. So this is the best benediction we can ever ask, anybody can ask for, because that is the permanent feature of the Lord. Satchit Anand it is going to provide. Unflinching faith in the Lord. So this unflinching faith comes only with the association of the Lord. So now the thing is that all the demigods who are the authorized representatives of the Lord, and they are empowered by the Lord. So, how should we deal with them? Um, how should we interact with them? So Prabhupada, in his several purports or lectures, he has given that we always give respect to these demigods, because these demigods are the overall administration in charges of various functions of the material world, and they are cooperating with the Lord, and therefore they are also devotees of the Lord. So since they are devotees of the Lord, they are much more higher at the platform in terms of devotional services. We can always go to them, approach them, and seek the spiritual desires, speak to help us in advancing spiritual desires, because materially we need not ask them. Materially, we should always approach the Supreme Personality of the Lord. Like in Shrimad Bhagavatam, also verse comes, Akamo Sarvakama Mokshkam Udaradi. We should never ask the demigods for material desires. We should not approach. But if at all we have some akama sarva kama, if at all we have some kamanas, desires, we should approach the Supreme Personality of the Lord, Godhead, only, because he is only providing, he is only empowering these demigods also to grant us. But this in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the verses of 7.21, यो यो याम याम तनु भक्त श्रद्धयार्चित चितुम इच्छति तस्य तस्य चला श्रद्धाम तामेव विदधाम aham. So if these people, because if I am in everyone's heart as the super soul, as soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. So because Krishna is there in all of us as super soul, he's sitting in the hearts of the demigods also as super soul. So if someone is desiring to worship any demigod, then Krishna will make his faith steady in that particular demigod, because Krishna is here in this created this material world to satisfy all the desires of a, a living entity, and he doesn't interfere because he has given some limited freedom to us. And if we are exercising that freedom, then Krishna will fix our mind in that particular demigod, and the faith also. So Dhruv Maharaj doesn't want that faith to be fixed in demigods. He wants the uh, the faith to be fixed in the supreme personality of the Godhead. And so with this, what happens? Anybody can cross over the ocean of nescience very easily. If we have unflinching faith in Krishna, then we can cross the Bhavasagar very easily. And it is not difficult. Otherwise, it is very difficult for others, because Sansara Davanal, it's a Bhavasagar, Davanal, forest fire kind of. So it is very, very difficult. But if we take shelter of the Lord or his pure devotees, then it is very easy, because that becomes a kind of the total ocean becomes a footprint of a calf. So uh, both living entities and demigods, Prabhupada writes here, both the living entities and demigods are subordinate to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the living entity cannot worship the demigod by his own desire. Even Prabhupada writes very clearly, if attempting to worship the demigods, that inspiration also eventually it comes from the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. Why so? Because the God has given independence to everyone. Therefore, if a person desires to have material enjoyment and wants very sincerely to have such facilities from the material demigods, the Supreme Lord, as super soul in everyone's heart, understands and gives facilities to such persons. As the Supreme Father of all living entities, he does not interfere with their independence, but gives all facilities so that he can fulfill their material desires. I can display it also. Where am I reading? This is 7.21 Bhagavad Gita. Huh. Some may ask why all the powerful God gives facilities to the living entities for enjoying this material world, and so lets them fall into the trap of the illusory energy. The answer is that if Supreme Lord as a super soul does not give such facilities, then the demigods cannot worship without free will. Therefore, he gives everyone full independence, whatever one likes, but his ultimate instruction we find in the Bhagavad Gita as Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Ultimately, he concludes like, please come to me only. One should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto him. That will make a man happy. Thereafter, he writes, both the living entity and the demigods are subordinate to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the living entity cannot worship the demigod by his own desire. Even worshipping a demigod is also not possible without the desire of the Lord, without the sanction of the Lord. Nor can the demigod execution of that benediction also requires a sanction of the Lord to the particular demigod. As it is said, not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, persons who are distressed in the material world go to the demigods as they are advised in the Vedic literature. A person wanting some particular thing may worship such and such a demigod. For example, a diseased person is recommended to worship the sun god. A person wanting education may worship the goddess of learning, Saraswati, and a person wanting a beautiful wife may worship the goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. In this way, there are recommendations in Shastras, Vedic scriptures for different modes of worship of different demigods. And because a particular living entity wants to enjoy a particular material facility, the Lord inspires him to with a strong desire to achieve that benediction from that particular demigod. How? Because Krishna is sitting in the heart region of the living entity as well as demigod, as Kshirodakshay Vishnu. And so he successfully receives the benediction. The particular mode of devotional attitude of living entity towards a particular type of demigod is also arranged by the Supreme Lord. This is also very important. That ultimately, cause of all causes is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The particular mode of the devotional attitude of the living entity toward a particular type of demigod is the living entities with such an affinity, but because he is the Supreme Lord, the Super Soul who is present in the hearts of all living entities, Krishna gives impetus to man to worship certain demigods. The demigods are actually different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they have no independence. In the Vedic literature, it is stated the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Super Soul is also present within the heart of the demigod. Therefore, he arranges through the demigod to fulfill the desire of living entity, but both the demigod and living entity are dependent on supreme will. They are not independent. So we should, this is the crux of the message, that demigods as well as living entity are not independent of the supreme lord. They are always dependent on the supreme personality of Godhead. So how Krishna arranges the benedictions or any other things which are desired by the living entity, right? So otherwise, we see that dharma, artha, kama, moksha, these are the four uh, top top level purusharth, we call it, right? The objectives of any human being. But the fifth one is that benediction, that he might constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord. This is simply meaning that one should be always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Because Pancham Purusharth is the one which will lead us to the Vaikuntha planet. Because moksha, till moksha is what? Liberation. Liberation can be only up to the Brahmaline, that Mayavadi philosophy also, they have some liberation, but they just become peaceful. That's all. But no, no anand, no. They just have a realization of the eternity, Sat. But Chit and Anand, knowledge and bliss, doesn't come to them. That comes only through the devotional service, pure devotional service, which Prabhupada propounded. And otherwise they are what they are. Antavattu phalam tesham tad bhavati alpamedasam. Those who worship the demigods, ultimately those fruits of those benedictions are temporary in nature because they are not sustainable. Only the benedictions given by the Supreme Personality of Lord Godhead or the pure devotees are going to be permanent in nature. And that's why a devotee doesn't want even the liberation. He feels that liberation is a very low category kind of a desire. Liberation. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, "Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam ma jagadishwaram, mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai, mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki." So Mahaprabhu says, I want ahetuki bhakti of the Lord, no followers, no poetry, or no wealth. I don't want. I just want the engaged into the service of the Lord perennially. Otherwise, this will be a very, very, very bad bargain, I would say. The Lord can give anything, everything, but it's like asking the Lord a very just today's food. If somebody a beggar meets a very rich person and he asks, "Give me a piece of bread." What is this desire? Nothing. Prabhupada used to say, in Western world, people go to the church only to ask God, give us daily bread. But God is arranging that in any way. Who in the 88.4 million species is is dying of hunger? Nobody. God is arranging everything from tiny ant to the elephant. He is arranging everything. So there is no dearth of resources in this world, material world, because material world has been designed perfectly by the perfect Lord, who is perfect in all respects. So this is what the devotees never aspire to go back to liberation. They are always engaged in some service or the other. In this world, even in the hell or hellish conditions also, the devotees of the Lord, pure devotees of the Lord, are always going to serve the Lord because he they enjoy only in serving the Lord under any circumstances. We saw in Russia how that salted bread stories that people were put to jail because of they following the Krishna consciousness, but still their determination never faded. Even with the bread they got, they made the converted into the beads and then chanted. So a devotee, Prabhupada also in this first year in US, he struggled a lot. He his things were vandalized. His typewriter was damaged. Uh, everything. Nobody was cooperating. Sometimes he lost something, some books also. Many things happened, but he never got disappointed, and then he continued in his mission because that was giving him the joy. So, under any circumstances, devotee of the Lord never wants to, because this path is always difficult, right? We see the life of Pandavas, how it was. They were all the time, they were under something or the other, dangers were there all the time, but they were all the time protected by the Supreme Personality of Lord Godhead. Krishna was always there, and that is the reason Mother Kunti um, requests Krishna not to go to Dwarka, because when he is there, I mean, when difficulties were there, when the adversities were there, she was remembering the Lord. So because of that, it may happen that once that prosperity comes and we are again, as a human being, we tend to forget Krishna, because when opulence is there, Jan Mashwarya Sutta Sribhir, these are the obstacles in remembering Krishna. So, so the pure devotees will always be wanting to serve the Krishna in any circumstances, not that the favorable conditions only. And that's why in Ramcharitmanas also, when prasang comes, when Bharat, King Bharat, when Ramachandra ji was in the exile and he was in Chitrakoot at that time, when Bharat comes back and he follows Ramachandra and to bring him back to the Ayodhya's kingdom. So he met Bhardwaj Muni, and there he says, Arathana Dharamana Kamaruchi Gati na Chahau Nirvan Janam Janam Rati Ram Pada Yah Vardhanan Anu. He doesn't want dharam, earth, kam, moksha, or even nirvana, which is as good as moksha stage. But he wants Janam Janam Rati Ram Pada, all in all the lives, life after life. He wants the attraction or the attachment to the lotus feet of Ramachandra, Lord Ramchandra. So this is what the attitude of a pure devotee is. A Vaishnava is not interested in asking any benediction from the demigod, uh, nor he is interested in asking benediction from the Supreme Personality of Godhead as well. Because he knows Krishna will take care of me. Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. This is the one of the signs of a one of the six symptoms of pure Sharanagati. Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye. So this is the approach of a devotee. It is said in Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by Supreme Person. But even if pure devotee is offered liberation by the Supreme Lord, he refuses to accept it. Dhruv Maharaj did not ask Kuvera for transference of this spiritual world. Even if Kuvera could give the transference to the spiritual world, even in that also they are not interested, because they know, they want the services to be given in anywhere, spiritual world, which is called liberation. He simply asks that wherever he would remain, whether in spiritual or material world, he would always remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the highest form of desire a devotee can ever get, and that is only uh, exhibited by pure devotees, because a Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. We should be always respectful to the demigods. Demigods are there, so many. Ganesha, Shiva, all these, and we should always be respecting. And in every dham, we see Shiva temples. So Shiva temples are Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu, Nimnaganam yatha Ganga, Vaishnavanam yatha Shambhu. Uh, Shiva is present in Vrindavan, Shiva is present in Mayapur Dham. So these the demigods are, we should respect them, all of them, but not worship them. And even if you worship, don't ask for the benediction, because benediction, worshipping demigod, is not that much recommended. um, uh, uh, because ultimately Krishna is empowering them, and when we plant a tree, then if we water it in the roots, then all the branches are also getting nourishment. We need not nourish the branches separately, because these demigods are part and parcel of Krishna. In the Virat Purush, these are limbs, different limbs of Krishna only. Uh, 30, 330 million Devi Devtas, demigods, are all parts and parcel of Krishna. So Krishna only is empowering them, and it is practically also not possible to satisfy all the demigods. So better we worship Krishna, and who indirectly all will be happy. All demigods will be happy, because like Hanuman, if we are worshipping Lord Ramchandra, then Hanumanji is automatically happy. He will give start benediction, because he himself is taking the names of the Lord Ramachandra all the time. Or Shiva, he is also uh, chanting the holy name all the time. So whatever we are, if we are chanting the holy name, Lord Shiva will also be very pleased, and he will be always pushing us closer to the Lord, because he also is in the same mission. He also wants we to be going back to the Lord. And this is the approach we should follow. We should follow the Mahajanain Yena Gatas Pantha. All our acharyas have given these instructions, and we should follow them. Then we are on the right path, and this should always be the approach one should have. So this is what my understanding is on the today's verse, and as I heard it from the other Vaishnavas and senior devotees. So today we end up here, and if you have any comment, correction, or question, we can take it for next few minutes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, no questions or corrections. I think you gave references from so many places, which is more important for us to understand. So, thank you for the wonderful explanation of the verse. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Please keep blessing us, me.
Krishna's mercy, Prabhu. We all have to pray for each other.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. That's all. So we'll end this meeting here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhayasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.